So Mark had his colonoscopy yesterday, which went well, and there were no issues. Everything's fine. I took him down. Well, he drove down. We went down to be there for 8 o'clock. And in previous times, I've sat and waited with him and waited for him in his room, and was expecting to do that yesterday, but that didn't happen. They sent me home, which I was quite disappointed about, because we normally support each other when we're having medical interventions, and it felt really horrible to be going away. And I couldn't even go and tell him that I'd been sent home. I asked to do that, and the nurse went off and then came back and said, oh, he's all au courant, which means he's up to date. But actually, when I went and picked him up at midday, he thought I'd just gone home. So I felt, it's horrible, isn't it? He thought I'd just thought, oh, fuck it, I'll go home. But I was sent home. Well, not sent home, but they said you could, you don't need to. I would have been waiting 3.5 hours. So it was a bit stupid, really, as it's only 15 minutes down the road. But that's not the point. So, yeah, that was good. Nice to get that over. Obviously, nice to get that over with for him. But Sunday, I think, had felt really slow for both of us. You just sort of feel like you're, as we've said before, waiting for that late shift. And plus he had to take a preparation on Sunday evening, and then again at 4 o'clock in the morning, yesterday morning. So, we felt, I think, yesterday afternoon like we'd been working nights. That sort of, when you work nights, you do the night and you come back, go to bed, and then you wake up probably, I don't know, probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Because for me, I could never sleep long, have a long sleep after nights. So then the next day you're feeling a bit wiped out. So I think we felt like that yesterday afternoon. We sat and watched a film. I'm going to pause you whilst I look for it. Well, I can't find it. It was Brian Cox. Not Professor Brian Cox. I thought it was going to be Professor Brian Cox. I thought, what's he doing acting? Brian Cox, and he is a very elderly man who goes to America from the Isle of Lewis, or from an island off the Isle of Lewis, to San Francisco to reconnect with his estranged son. And to get a medical exam. Don't know why he had to have it over there. Anyway, it was an enjoyable film, and it was something nice to do yesterday evening. He's not an actor I really know that well, obviously, because I thought it was going to be Professor Brian Cox. But yeah, I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We're going into, not to Poitiers, but we're going to, I can never pronounce it, Chasseneuil, Poitou. Well, that might be how you pronounce it, I don't know. Which is where Leroy Merlin is. And but there's also KFC there. I've got a craving for KFC, which is quite rare, and it's the nearest one, and it's 40 minutes. But so I'm being taken out for dinner. For lunch, for KFC. I really miss, I don't eat KFC much. It was something that when we moved to Devon, again, the nearest KFC to Devon was 45 minutes to where we lived. And it was on the motorway, in one of the services on the motorway. But when KFC first came to the UK, you could buy 3 pieces and chips, which was 3 pieces of chicken, good pieces of chicken. And this KFC that we're going to don't do that. And they said to me that KFC have stopped doing it, but I'm sure they haven't. I'm sure I've had it since, but I know in this one I won't get it. But it'll have to do. It just, once I've got a craving for something, you'd have to do it, don't you? Otherwise it doesn't go away. It just doesn't go away. So that's what's happening today. It's very overcast. I think we've got a sort of rain forecast on and off. And Yeah. These are not my new earrings. These are earrings that I have to take out and put in, take out and put in. And my plan is, um, I've got earrings that I think are due in the post today. Oh, excuse me. Because the thing about earrings is that if I have earrings like this and I take them out and then I forget to put earrings in because I don't stand in front of a mirror putting makeup on and doing all that, farting around, getting ready, the risk is the holes in my ears begin to close up. So I have to have earrings in daily. But if I forget, after about 3 or 4 days, they begin to close up. But I want something that's comfortable for sleeping in. And these, obviously, are not comfortable for sleeping in. The earrings that somebody commented on the other day aren't these ones. I went to put them in yesterday, and one of them I couldn't get in. So then you start poking around and making your ears sore. So I stopped that. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. So I didn't have earrings on yesterday. So I hope my new ones turn up today. Other than that, I really hurt my leg on the way to bed on Sunday. I don't know what I did. I was going up the stairs on the way to bed, and about halfway up, I must have moved wrong or twisted something, but I couldn't. I really struggled to get up the last few stairs and was really in a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of pain, but a lot of discomfort. And it was all down the front of my leg and into my foot. And it had a vague sciatica feeling, but not the same intensity up high as sciatica. And I limped all day yesterday. I took a lot of painkillers. I rubbed in diflucanac cream, and I don't use that. I only ever use magnesium spray, but I needed more than that. And every time I got up from sitting, it was really uncomfortable. But as the day went on yesterday, it was much improved. By the time we went to bed last night, it was a lot improved. I still slept with a pillow, with my leg on a pillow last night, but actually slept really well. And this morning it feels 99% better, but I feel really wary now because I don't want to do that again because it was horrible. And I thought, of all the times I need to be on form because I'm the person that's meant to be driving him around and doing, taking care of him and bringing him home, I disabled myself. I think it was that I couldn't bear that he would be have the light shone on him, so I had to try and catch up with that unconsciously. So yeah. Anyway, that's okay. All is well. All the chickens are well. The Maren's really noisy when I go down to let them out. I can hear her, so that I like hearing that. The cuckoo Maren, when she came out this morning, takes a bit of getting going. I do think that she sits overnight. She doesn't roost, and I think her legs are just a bit stiff. I don't know what's going to happen with her. She's got a really odd way of sitting. She sits, I can't explain it. In fact, I was looking at her today because I was thinking, I need to look at her and compare the anatomy of her legs to the others because I feel like there's something missing, like this, that she's missing a joint in her legs, and she isn't, but she sits with her legs at an angle when she's sitting, so she's sitting back on her haunches rather than like that, and I don't know why she does that. I tried roosting her the other day. I need to do that more. I tried roosting her, but she just can't roost, and then and then everybody gets disturbed. Mrs. Brahma gets disturbed and upset. But I must try and roost her, because if she could do that with her feet, that would be better for her. Because what birds do when they roost is the important thing, and I see so many chicken coops that have been made with square bars or squared off bits of wood, and chickens have evolved to roost in trees, and this goes around a rounded branch, and locks, so that when they roost at night, they're locked onto the branch, which is why we've got what they roost on is branches. And it's difficult for them to lock around a square piece of wood. They're not designed to do that. It irritates me, because it's like coops that have been made, coops that are commercially made, and that really pisses me off, actually, because it's like, if you're going to make chicken coops, you ought to be making them appropriate for chickens. It's a lot of them have got I don't know whether it's onduline or like asphalt on the roof, some sort of covering on the roof that really isn't appropriate to have on the top of a chicken coop. Because what happens is, you've got you have a wooden roof, and then they put like whatever it is used to put on your shed roof. Can't remember what it is. But what happens is, the red mite all have a great time under there. It gets nice and warm and moist, and it absolutely encourages red mites. So you should never have that sort of covering on the roof of a chicken coop. It's really important to have ventilation in a chicken coop. My chickens have got so much ventilation. They've got enough for all the other chicken coops locally, because they've got a big open, so it's like a garage, but with one of the side walls, half of it is open to the elements. It's open, but it's very netted. It's got a lot of protective netting on it. So we've made it so that a queen can't get through. Cross our fingers. Just about to do that today. But it's very open, so they get a lot of air in there, and that's so important, because chickens get very hot. They're wearing a duvet. They get very hot. So in those little coops that people put them in, those little wooden coops, if they're not ventilated well, they get very damp and humid in there, and again, that encourages red mites and isn't good for the respiratory issues that chickens can get. So they need ventilation, but not drafts. So you have to really balance how you ventilate a chicken coop. Anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that. Why did I talk about that? Talked about roosting. So that's that. Anyway, so he's taking me to KFC any minute. I won't be eating any minute, but I think we might be leaving shortly. So see you next time. Thanks for watching. And I haven't been looking at Trump stuff too much, because it's too much, but I will be back to it. And Harris stuff, of course. Okay, thanks. Bye.